in person this time. We're back with Contra from, you may know him from the Depression series and all the funny antics that go along with that.
don't.
Too bad.
Okay.
Oh well.
He already mentioned it.
I promised him a DDD deck profile, so we're here in person this time, and Zark Matt, by the way, so nice.
Yeah, because Pendulum.
Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, I went undefeated this time, surprisingly. I mean, I tied the last one, but I could have won it if I played it differently.
You truly are a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Yeah, yes. So, starting with the savants that are important, 3 Kepler, 3 Copernicus. Kepler searches a dark contract, and Copernicus can foolish either a dark contract or any DD. You usually want to see one of these whenever you go first or go second, at either one. So Kepler will usually get either Gate or Swamp King. Sometimes if you already have Gate, you can search a really powerful Floodgate I'll show you later that I'm playing.
And I hate you for it.
Yeah, I know any Fusion player will hate me for that. Copernicus lets me foolish all sorts of things that let me Fusion summon from my graveyard. It also lets me play through Nib, because if I already have setup, I can just send something else. If they nib me, I can just summon another Fusion monster and keep playing. 3 Griffin. So usually Kepler will get Gate, which will search this card. This card is from Battles of Chaos, and it causes 1-card combos to be a lot stronger than they used to be. It lets me end on like Machinex and Siegfried usually. So what it does is, if I control a DD, I can summon it from my hand. So it lets me go instantly into my Link 2. 3 Swirl Slime. This lets me Fusion summon using DDs in my hand, and it lets me play around stuff. So it lets me Fusion summon, say, Genghis, and it lets me play without using my normal summon, because Swirl Slime has the effect to banish itself to summon a DD from my hand. So say I have like Kepler, any DD, and Swirl Slime, I can Swirl Slime into my Fusion Genghis, and then use Swirl Slime to summon Kepler from my hand. It's really powerful. One's Necro Slime. This is one of the ones you'd send off of Copernicus, because it lets you Fusion summon by banishing materials from your graveyard. Note it does not banish for cost, so if like they ghost spell it, it's still there for next turn. Vice Typhon has the same effect as Necro Slime, but it has to be used during the turn it was sent to the graveyard, and it can only Fusion summon level 8 or higher DDs. But this is also one thing that this lets you play through Nib. Say you have already sent Necro Slime and you've already used Necro Slime, and this deck has a lot of tools to foolish. You can send this to the graveyard and then Fusion summon, and then you can still make Machinex, or if you have more gas, you can make the full board anyway. For the sort of bricks in the deck, but their utility when it counts, 2 Orthros, 1 Lamia. I'm losing space. 1 Lamia, 1 Thomas, 1 Ragnarok. So Orthros lets me... So its Pendulum Scale is really good against, like, if they set, like, Pandemonium decks, like, or, like, Prank Kids, or, like, anything that sets 1 card, because I can pop another DD or Dark Contract to pop another card, or to pop a Spell Trap. So it comes up there. But more importantly, it's a scale 3, so the Link 2 can set it from deck, and then I can do other things with it that I'll explain when I get to the extra deck. Lamia is for the Gate 1-card combo, because sometimes I need it to make the Link 2, and if I can't make the Link 2, I generally don't play, because this is pure. Thomas is for the Kepler 1-card combo, so I can make a 4-material Machinex, which, if you didn't know, if I have Gate and the 4 materials under Machinex, that's 5 steals. Ragnarok lets me play through Nib. It extends the combo because anytime a DD is summoned once per turn, I can summon another DD from my grave, and then I pay 1,000 life points. It's also necessary for the Kepler 1-card combo because it's level 8. It lets me go into Kali Yuga alongside Thomas, which is the other level 8. Or not Ragnarok, Kali Yuga. So that's all for the DD cards, or DD monsters in the deck. So, I'm playing Small World into this deck, so I'm playing Eccentric. It's really powerful because it lets you use Ash because it's level 3. It lets you use Effect Veiler because it's light. And anytime I draw it, too, I can either normal summon and pop a card if I have all the gas I need, like Swirl Slime and a starter. And I could just set it in the scale and pop a card, or pop a spell trap. The last hand trap is Crow. I'm playing Crow because of Despia, mostly, because I can either banish the Brandon in red target or the Albion to just prevent the Brandon in red from appearing. It's more likely I'd hit the Brandon in red target, because then they waste the card. That's all from the monsters. For spells, I'm playing 3 gates, 1 Swamp King, and 1 patent license for my contracts. Gate is the Searcher. It searches me any DD monster, but it is a hard once per turn on its activation. So like if you activate Gate, you can't activate another gated later in the turn, which kind of sucks. 1 Swamp King. It lets me fusion summon from my hand or graveyard or hand or field. But if I want to summon for any fiend fusion, if I want to summon a triple D, I can use monsters in my graveyard by banishing them. And then the patent license, it's like a floodgate if it's on the field. So if my opponent summons something that has the same super type, like fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link, and I control the same DDD type, I can make them take 1,000, and then they can't summon that type for the rest of the turn. It's like a weaker version of another Floodgate I'm playing. So, but it helps. Also, if it goes to the graveyard, I can get back a DD in my graveyard. For other like gas, like 1 for 1 because it gets me Kepler. Why wouldn't I play it? 2 Small World. If you watch my Medolce deck profile, I only have 2 Small Worlds. 1 Pure Erase. I've always drawn 2 of this card, so I'm not playing 1 of it. And lastly, Called by the Grave, because why not?
What would you replace the for the 3rd Small World if you had that?
Probably the Pure Erase, or maybe an Orthros. I'd probably side an Orthros. And I have 2 traps. DD Headhunt and Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I know you don't like this card. So I'll start with the less impactful card. Headhunt if I control a triple D, I can target a monster my opponent controls and take control of it and negate its effects until the end of my next turn. So if I use it during my opponent's turn, I'll keep it till the end of my next turn. And if it was a monster summoned from the extra deck, it counts as a triple D, so I can use it to link off to make anything else, really. Eternal Darkness. This is a really funny card.
You don't say.
So if I have 2 DD Pendulum cards in my Pendulum zones, my opponent cannot target monsters on the field with spell and traps, tribute summon with them, or use them for fusion, Xyz, or synchro. I said that over. Fusion, synchro, or Xyz. It was so good. So against based or what is it? Sad now.
Either or, I'm pretty sure they just cut the artifact.
They really are sad.
Yeah, they literally are sad when they see this because they can't synchro summon. What are they? They're gonna make Hulk. I can, if I have other interruptions like Mechanics, I can just take the Hulk. So yeah, it's such a good card. So I decided to main it instead of side it because I can easily search it. And that's a 41 card main deck.
41 cringe.
Yeah, cringe. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not playing Upstart like usual DDD players are.
Oh,
So
I see.
they usually use that for the synchro variant. So extra deck, double flanking Genghis, one dark, and one high king Genghis. So this is usually what you want to summon off of Swirl Slime if you have a lot of stuff in your hand like Kepler and another DD. Because say you use the Swirl Slime and the third DD, you can fusion summon into this. Swirl Slime can summon the Kepler from my hand. Genghis will trigger to summon back a DD from my graveyard. So if Swirl Slime sent another important DD to the graveyard, I can summon it back. It also chain blocks my Kepler or Copernicus. So it's really nice. I'm playing Dark because it's a level 7. You saw I'm playing one Lamia. If I have the ability to go further with the combo, I can use Lamia and Dark to make my Synchro Siegfried, which is a spell or trap negate once per turn. And I'm playing Genghis because it does the same thing as small Genghis, which it summons a monster from my graveyard when a double D is summoned. And it also has an effect during my turn. I can negate a spell trap. So say they have Brandon in red, I can just negate it with this if I just Swirl Slime with it and a level 5 or higher double D monster. So Siegfried, I said, is a spell trap negate. But it also, if it's destroyed, I can gain 1,000 life points for each Dark contract. I won in time with one of the games because of this, because they didn't read. Also, it's mandatory, so yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Time rules, we love them. Yay, it's great. That's not cope.
Yeah, it's not. Xyz. One Caesar, one Tell, one Big Caesar, one Ragnarok, and 2 Mechanics. So, Battle of Chaos gave us this card. This card is really powerful. It is so powerful. So what it does is it lets me detach 2 materials or destroy a Dark contract I control once per chain, and take a monster card my opponent controls that activates its effect. So this, for the record, this includes Pendulum Scales, Union Monsters, and Crystal Beasts. I mean, the Crystal Beasts I probably won't come up, but just remember that. Monster cards in the spell trap zones are still monster cards.
Crystal Beast can't even activate in the spell zone.
No, even if you activate a Crystal Beast card to set it, like, if it has an effect in the spell, like...
No, none of them do. That's my point.
Well, yeah, sure, but, like
Like-
anything that's like a Crystal Beast.
Yes, you're really... The point is Pendulum card.
Yeah, so, like...
You can steal Pendulum.
Yeah, I can steal any Pendulum Scales. If a Union monster has an effect, like an ABC, to special summon itself, I can take it. I haven't done that yet with a Union monster yet, but that would be funny when it does come up. So with the regular Xyz lineup, one Caesar, I go into this with my usual combo. The effect that matters is that when it's sent to the graveyard, I can search a Dark contract, so I can search the powerful Floodgate Eternal Darkness or the Fusion Swamp King. King Tell, I can rank up with, over Wave King with it because it requires a rank 4 DD as one of its alternate summoning conditions. And when it's sent to the graveyard, I can Foolish. So yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I can Foolish a lot of DDs. So if I get nibbed, I can Foolish another one of the fusion guys. Like if I send Necroslime, I can Foolish Feist Typhon, or if I can Foolish Lamia. If I already have Dark on the field and make Siegfried. Also, this is not a once per turn. I can do this as many times as I want. This one though is. I'm not entirely sure why, because it says all of its effects are once per turn, and this one says just its burn effect. So I can target a monster on the field, detach a material, and then their monster loses 1,000 attack, or any monster on the field loses 1,000 attack, and then they take 1,000 life points. So I use this to keep myself from losing in tide because my Link monster burns me for 1,000, and this will let me balance it out to 7k. High King Caesar. So it requires 2 level 6s. And you know what else is what is level 6? King Aegis. So if I can summon 2 of them before my 5th summon, I can make this, and I can lock out my opponent from Nib, because it has an effect that if a spell or trap card or monster effect activates that includes an effect that special summons a monster, I can attach my 2 and negate that effect. And it's not once per turn. So I can do that with all the 10Ys that summon themselves, like with the Sword Souls that summon a token, I can just negate that. Or like Brandon in Red, I can negate that too. Or Brandon in Fusion. Well, it has the other side effect that it gives a DD monster I control 1800 attack, which could come up if they summon a 3k. Kali Yuga, this is a flex bot. I could literally play anything else, but whatever. With this, I can make it with the 1-card combo. I can make Thomas and Ragnarok, because Thomas can summon Ragnarok from deck. I make this, and then I can just overlay for Machinax. Also, it hoses trap decks, because once it's summoned, if they don't have Solemn Judgment or Solemn Strike, they lose their whole board. I explain Machinax. So. 1 Sky Thunder, or 1 Zeus.
I was about to say, are you really about to call that Sky Thunder?
I don't know. I was reading it backwards. I was like, wait, I don't know what I'm saying here. It's like me calling Book of Moon instead of Book. And then my Lake Monster, because this card is crazy. So when it's special summoned, mind you, it's special summon, not link summon. So if I summon back from the graveyard, it also triggers.
This card is stupid.
So it sets my pendulum scales with any double D monsters.
Which plays around anti-spell, by the way.
Yeah, because it places the scales, it doesn't activate the scales.
That's so dumb.
So yeah, it's just so good, and also I can just make Machinax with it because it's another triple D monster.
Because why not? Yeah, sure, it's great.
It does burn me for 1,000, but because of Tell, I don't lose in time if it gets to if the game or the timer ends. So yeah, this is it's so good. But mind you, people like to Ghost Ogre this card because then I can't summon 2 Pendulum monsters to its zones. The problem with that though is that it lets me summon a triple D monster from my extra deck, which means any of the fusions, any of the Xyz, pretty much anything, and then I just continue the combo. So yeah, people should not be ogreing this card.
Explain why you play 3.
Oh yeah, I guess why not?
I mean, if you're going this far with the deck profile, you may as well explain why there's 3 there.
So I'm playing 3 because I'm usually going to go through either 2 or 3 during the whole combo, because I use them to link off my Tell and my Caesar, because I can use a monster and these to link them off, and I trigger their powerful graveyard effects. So yeah, I play 3, and I don't really have a way to put them back in the extra deck that's consistent. The only way really is patent license, because of its effect to send a DD back to the deck, or to add it to hand. So yeah, that's the extra deck.
Pray tell, what are you side decking?
No, we still have more.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, there's more. So
what manner of tomfoolery?
Right? They're all self-explanatory, right?
Yeah. Triple nib, triple droll.
Can't imagine why.
Triple dark ruler.
Ah, I see.
There's the third one. Triple evenly matched. Double anti-spell. So this card won me a few games just because, like, any of the
Can't imagine why.
I wonder why. Like, Brandon can't do anything. Adventure can't do anything. Yeah. So it's just a good.
Don't worry, guys. Imperial Order's banned. It's fine. it's all good.
You can chain.
Well, yeah, you can chain Cosmic Cyclone to it.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can chain Super Polymerization to it. Yeah. Oh, mind you, Super Polymerization actually doesn't do as much as you'd think, because the cards I could end on, like Caesar, Mach and X.
No. I understood what you meant.
Sometimes I might end on a Genghis. Secret. So these are usually cards I'd end on. Sometimes I'll end on a Gilgamesh. If they try to right Geki me, I can just use Gilgamesh to summon another guy. But if I'm not summoning these two, or any two of these, like say I summon this and this, they can't Super Volley because this is water and this is fire. So yeah, so Super Volley doesn't do as much as people think it does. It certainly hurts if I do full combo, but if I have anti-spell up, that's all they're doing with it. They're just making a Super Volley. Last card is one Fury Raise, because I don't have triple anti-spell for some reason.
I see.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hate this card, but I run it, so.
Hey, I've seen you losing time to this card many a time, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I did not play this deck properly.
Anything else to say, or that about wraps it up?
I guess there's one thing to say about this. So,
Oh dear.
No deer?
So there's some players who run
He's calling people out.
this card. This card's really good against any trap format because what it does is if I control just a double D monster. Yeah, if I control a double D monster, I can declare this effect trap stun the board. So they can't activate any trap, or they can activate trap cards, but their effects will be negated, which is really good. I was gonna consider siding it, but instead of the second Fury Raise, but I didn't think there was gonna be that much representation from them, so I decided not to. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And we'll about wrap it up. Thanks for sharing, and I don't know, say something funny.
No lasted over 20 minutes. Why?
Ah, yes, I see.
Mine's better.
Why, Konami, why?
Oh, get called out.
Would you play this deck? Nah. Base.
I see Heart of Crown expansion, but they have no Heart of Crown.
Anyway, yeah, bye.